Good day and welcome back. If this is your first day of joining us, welcome, and I hope you find this channel useful. Today we will be looking at multiplication and different methods we can multiply. First up, we have our distributive properties of multiplication. That just basically means if we take the second number and we break them up into smaller bits and multiply the first number with both parts, and we add the product of both, we will get the answer. 48 can be broken up into 40 plus 8, so I will have the product of 349 and 40, and I will add the product of 349 that I multiplied with 8, which will be 13,960 plus 2,792. I will add these two numbers, which will give me 16,752. But now you don't know your 8's multiplication timetable so well. So how can we do this differently? 48 can also be achieved by having 50 subtracting 2. So now you find the product of 349 and 50, and you subtract the product of 349 and 2. Those products will be 17,450, subtracting 698, and as you will see, this will also give you an answer of 16,752, and both of these answers are exactly the same. Another way of doing it can be rounding off, but remember, whenever we're doing rounding off, it is only an estimation of what our answer will be, and it won't give us the exact answer. This is just for you to know more or less what your final answer should be if you multiply your original two numbers. So I rounded both of them off to the nearest 10. I multiplied them, and it is 17,500. And as we go back, it is out by 1,052. Okay, but I know more or less it needs to be more than 10,000. If we look at the next method, it is by breaking up into factors. Now 48 can be achieved by multiplying 8 and 6. Those are factors of 48. But 8 can be broken up further into 4 times 2. And 6 factors is 3 times 2. 4 once again have smaller factors of 2 times 2. And there you can see 48 can be achieved by multiplying 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 3. Then you take your original first number and you multiply it with 2. You scratch the 2 you already multiplied it with. You multiply with your next 2. You scratch it. You multiply with the next 2. You scratch it. You multiply with the last 2. You scratch it. And you multiply with the 3. And as you can see, once again, the answer is 16,752. Then we can also have our expanded column method. Here, you will take your number at the top and multiply all of it with the 8. Here you can see 9 times 8 will give me 72. Very important here to remember is that you are not multiplying the 8 with 4, but actually with 40, which will give you 320. Then you are multiplying your 8 not with a 3, but with 300, which will give you an answer of 2,400. Next up, we are moving to the 4, which is actually 40, because it's standing in the place of the tens. 9 times 40 is 360. 40 times 40 will give me 1,600, and 300 times 40 will give me 12,000. Then I need to add all of these numbers, and once again, I have an answer of 16,752. Our last method is the column method, which is actually the same as our distributive property, but now we are writing it underneath each other. It is basically 9 times 8, which will give me 72. There's my 2. I carried my 7 over. Then my 40 times my 8, which will give me 32. I add my 7, so it is 39. I write my 9. I carry my 3 over. And 3 times 8 will be 24. I add the 3 I carried over, and there's 27. Then I write a 0. It is very important to remember to write your 0 since we are starting to multiply with our tens now. If you forget to write your 0, your answer will be wrong. So very important, crucial part, when I start multiplying with my tens, I must add a 0. So 9 times 40, in fact, will be 360. I write my 6. I carried my 3 over. 4 times 4 is 16. I must add what I carried over. Multiply again. Add what I carried over. There's my answer. I add everything. And once again, I have 16,752. Now, if here was 100 as well that you need to multiply with, remember you will have to write 2 zeros before starting to multiply with your 100. Why do I write 2 zeros? Because there are 2 digits after the number that indicates it is 100. And for 1,000, you will write 3 zeros and so forth. You should not forget to write those zeros, otherwise your answers will be wrong. I hope you found this method useful. Play around with them, see which one works for you, and use it. Stay safe and be blessed.